the presses. It's another edition of We Play Baton Rouge, the game show that entertains, rewards, and informs, but not necessarily in that order. Welcome now, Mr. Question, Pat, don't hit that buzzer, Shingleton.
Hello, how are ya? And welcome again to another edition of We Play Baton Rouge. Who are the living room players that could win a $50 gift certificate to D.H. Holmes and dinner for two at Los Amigos? Who are those special contestants we have tonight? You'll find out that in just a second. But right now, go to the game board. You will find on our game board, folks, categories. We give the contestant the category. We also give them a question. Now, a correct response on that question, you hear this sound. An incorrect answer, you hear this sound. Now, if you hear this sound, that is the mating call of game show hosts all across America. But anyway, if you get the correct answer, you move across the streets, and the person that reaches the studios of TV2 first, that is the winner of our game. Without any further ado, here now is Steve Areno, Earl Linsky, with the introduction of our contestants. Hey, Steve, who do we have today?
When we mentioned hot off the presses at the top of the show,
Yes?
that is exactly what we meant. As you told us, Pat, it's newspaper night. Now, everybody has read contestant number one's column. It appears in the State Times. His hobbies include selling balloons on Florida Boulevard, wearing jogging shoes 2 sizes smaller than they should be,
That sounds
and,
like
of
him.
course, organizing the Andre the Giant Fan Club. Formerly a copy boy
man.
with Clark Kent at the Daily Planet from Peking, China, a big We Play welcome to John McMillan.
All right, John. Hi, John. You are John, no doubt about it. John, I know there's many of our viewers out there have read your column religiously.
Not as many as you think.
On their way to Dick Tracy. The question is, they want to know, where are you originally from?
That's none of their business.
Okay. Now, we know it's not Peking, China. Isn't it El Dorado? Texarkana.
Texas, but it's...
We don't want to let that out because this man, folks, has his picture in many post offices all across America. No, not really. Now, John, it's good to have you on We Spray Baton Rouge. Now, the job that you got, you want the news, not the weather, right? But anyway, it's good to have you on We Play Baton Rouge. Now, you know who your competitor is, but our folks at home, our living room players, do not. Steve, who is the contestant against John tonight?
Okay, Pat, John will match wits and some wisdom
What do you mean,
with
some
contestant number 2. He really needs no introduction, but he said he wouldn't play the game if we didn't. He's Mr. Baton Rouge, and he's often seen throwing $5 bills into the crowd during Mardi Gras parades. He likes to direct traffic during thunderstorms, and of course, he runs away from restaurants without paying the tab. The man with the smile, none other than Smiley Anders.
That's the man. That's Smiley. Okay, Smiley, here is the big question. John, you know this guy. Well, all right. Now, listen, Smiley, the big question is, a lot of people want to know, how did you get the name Smiley?
It's actually very dull. It's real.
It is?
It's a real name. I'm a junior, as a matter of fact.
Smiley Anders
Right,
Jr.
if you could believe
Now,
it,
come
yeah.
on now.
Absolutely. Scout's honor. I wouldn't lie.
Okay, now, if
I
you
did a
don't
lot
tell
of
us how you got the name, I'm going to be calling you Herschel.
It's a real name. You want to see my driver's license?
Okay, Smiley, we'll buy that.
All right, good.
Last time I asked for his driver's license, they pulled him over. But anyway, we're almost ready to start We Play Baton Rouge. We start our game with a coin toss. We select the living room players first. Now, here's what we want to do. You living room players, reach in there real quick, John, and yank out a name. Who is that name on there? Barbara Bollinger. Barbara Bollinger, Albany, Louisiana. Reach on in there, Smiley. Pull one out.
Okay.
Albany's in New York.
That's not New York.
That's Albany.
Holy cow, we get that far? Anyway.
Eunice Downey.
Eunice Downey in Port Allen.
Hey.
Eunice.
All
If
right.
Smiley wins, you win that $50 gift certificate from
You and
D.H.
me,
Holmes. If Barbara wins, you could possibly win the Saints. You guys better do good. These people are going to be
I'm gonna
burning
do
down
that. I know
your house.
everything.
That's
I know.
right. We'll spin the categories. We'll flip the coin. And we'll return right after this.
It's newspaper night. The Bulldog edition begins as the columnists head across the streets to the studios of TV2. We'll begin the game right after this.
Yes, indeed. We start with a toss of the coin. Let's go to the old coin. I'm flipping the coin, Smiley. Why don't you go ahead and call it?
Oh, it's going to end on the edge.
I'm sorry, it is not heads, Smiley. As you can see, it is tails. John, you've got the option to go out with any woman of your choice or take the first question. What would you like to do? Tough decision. You're going to do what?
I'm going to go out with a woman of my choice.
You have the first question. Smiley, you're all right here.
I'm going to go with him.
We had on one guy on here on retired night. I said to this guy, George Max, I said, George, look, after the show, we're going to go out and we're going to chase some women. He says, you go chase them and I'll meet you. So anyway, we got that lined up. You're taking the first question. You're okay here, right, Smiley?
Right, right.
Now, folks, and our living room players, stand by and get ready. It is time now for round one of WePlay Baton Rouge. Let's go! The categories begin to spin, gentlemen, and here they go. John, turn your attentions to the game board. You will find after that spin, it's locking in right now, John, on sports, television, things of the past or history. Hey, John, what looks good?
The past. I know a lot about it.
The past, the history. Here is your question. All right, now you know a lot about history. You know a lot about the past, John, after reading the papers. A battle in Maryland's largest city, John, inspired Francis Scott Key to write the Star-Spangled Banner. Name the city where this all took place.
True.
That's a correct
Baltimore.
answer. What'd you say?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Maryland is right. Hey, John, you're on Perkins. Now, you don't want to get stuck on Perkins, John. You got to keep moving. Move the categories. We move to the game board. Hey, Smiley. Let's go, Smiley. We're moving now. Here we find Smiley, Louisiana people of sports. What looks good, partner?
Louisiana.
Louisiana, a well-known category for Smiley Anders. Let's see what's up. Louisiana was admitted to the Union in 1812. How did it rank in order of admittance, Smiley? Was it 28th, 17th, 22nd, or 18th?
22nd.
Incorrect answer, Smiley. John, according to our rules, it's back to the game board and you
Forget
can
it.
take this. You don't want this, baby. No way. Jose. Okay, it was 18th. Louisiana was admitted to the Union in 1812, and it ranked in the order of admittance at 18th. So let's go back to the game board as you've opted to do, John. We'll run the categories, John, for you. Let's see what happens. Perkins the Street, you're looking for Lee. Things, wild things, John. Music and people. What do you say?
Thanks.
Thangs or
Thangs.
Okay,
Thangs
well, we
for the
call
memory.
it things in Pittsburgh, but you can call it thangs. All right, here we go. In Denham Springs. All right. Here's the question under thangs. James Chamber invented something in 1834 that is used in mailing letters. What did he invent for your 2nd Street, possibly? What is it, John?
Stamps.
You got it. A tough question, John, but you came through in the clinch. Hey, Smiley, you need that street, Jefferson. Go back to the game board, Smiley, or we're going to throw you out of the studio. There we go. Here we go, Smiley. It's running around. Fangs is up there again, Smiley.
Music.
Music, so
I'll
speak.
take music.
Music it is. Here is your question for hopefully your 1st Street Jefferson Highway. Under music, this famous singer named Tom left Wales to record such hits as The Green, Green Grass of Home and It's Not Unusual. For your 1st Street, Smiley, can you name this guy?
Jones.
That's exactly right, Tom Jones. He sang that famous song. It's not unusual to have a commercial break in WePlay Baton Rouge. You all remember that. You also remember that we will return, and when we do, it's John McMillan's turn. Newspaper people are with us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages, especially for you.
Travel arrangements for WePlay Baton Rouge are provided by American Airlines. American Airlines, doing what we do best.
Yes, indeed, folks. Welcome back to the second round of WePlay Baton Rouge. We take a moment to recognize the Bel Air baseball team. They play like that, too. Bel Air baseball team of Dennis Lorio in our studio audience today. How about them? What do you think? Okay, when we left, we had a minute to chat right there, and John McMillan, we asked John and Smiley if they were enjoying the show today and the play of the game. I know it's John's turn. I was asking him a question. John and Smiley were talking about the play of the game, and I said to them, are you guys having a good time? Here's what they said. 9 times they said that. Okay, let's go back to the game board. The categories run for you, John. Watch them spin. Leisure Street, you're going for Stanford. Let's see what happens here. John, sports, television, things of the past history.
Sports.
Sports it is, John. Here's your question for hopefully your next street. Listen closely. Roger Bresnahan was a New York Giant catcher who in 1908 was the first player to wear a protective device. Name the protective device Roger first wore in a baseball game. And remember, John, this is a family show.
Not me. I know the answer, but I won't say. Chest protector.
Incorrect answer, Smiley. The question or back to the game board?
Question.
Okay, here again. Roger Bresnahan, Smiley, was a New York Giant catcher who in 1908 was the very first player to wear a protective device. Name the protective device Roger first wore in a baseball game, Smiley, and College Drive is yours.
Let's see, the mask.
Incorrect again. It was shin guards.
Yeah.
It was a shin guard, something I always wear when I return home late at night. Okay. Hey, even the baseball team, now you know the Bel Air baseball team, they do not wear shin guards. Okay, it's back to you, John. Let's head to the game board. Smiley opted to take the question, so it flips back over to you. We flip the categories, and it locks in this time, John. Things, music, and people.
I know how to say baseball, Pat.
Baseball's a
I'll
category.
take people.
People. Sorry, John. It's just kind of...
Speak to you after the show.
People it is. Listen to this question, John, for hopefully your third street. In Under People, 2 of this fictional detective's famous words were called... let me start. We should have went with people. No. 2 of this fictional detective's famous works were called A Study in Scarlet and The Red-Headed League. Can you name this famous fictional person?
I can, but I won't. Sherlock Holmes.
Exactly right. You're on Stanford. The infamous Sherlock. Hey, John, have you read any of his stuff?
What?
Have you read any of Sherlock's stuff?
Certainly.
Well, all right. I just wanted to let you know because the State Library wants you to return those books.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
He writes
over
for
to
the
you,
paper.
Smiley. And let's head to college for you. Head to the game board, too. Let's see what happens there, Smiley. All right, there we go. Here we go, Smiley. We find out. Things locks in, music, too, and people.
Music again.
Music it is. Music was good
yeah.
to you the first time. Let's see
Right.
what happens the second time. Okay, Smiley, what husband and wife singing team first worked under the name of Cleo and Caesar? And it's not a local group. Let me give you that again. What husband and wife singing team first worked under the name of Cleo and Caesar?
Sonny and Cher.
That's right, you got college. All right, Smiley. I thought you were going to say Gymnasium and Randy Rice. But anyway,
right.
it's back over to you, John. 3-2 the score. 3 streets behind reaching the studios of TV2. John, that's on Stanford now. Go to Dalrymple. Go to the game board. The categories are spinning. What do you say? Places, comics, words.
Words.
Words it
I
is.
don't do so well with.
Words it is. It should be. I mean, geez, you guys work with words enough. Okay, this could be a tough one for you, John. Listen closely. Sometimes it's called a dolphin. Other times a porpoise. Spell. Porpoise.
God.
You better get this one right, or
Yeah, I
Mr.
can't
Manship's
spell.
going to be on the phone.
P-O-R. P-O-R-P. D-O-L-P-H-I-N. P-O-R-P-O-R-I-S.
Incorrect, you big dummy. It's back over to you, Smiley. You're on college. You're heading for Acadian. And we find for you now. You want the question?
No, no, I don't want the question.
You sure, Smiley?
No, I don't want the question.
Okay, then here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you back to the game board.
All right.
Here's what we're going to do. Sometimes it's called dolphin, other times a porpoise. Spell porpoise. Oh, I can spell that. P-O-R-P-O-I-S-E.
Hey, all right.
Okay, now, Smiley, you've opted to go to the game board. We're going to send you back to the game board, but for right now, we're going to send you to a commercial break. Taking care of some business. Be back with the last round of WePlay Baton Rouge.
WePlay Baton Rouge is taped before a live studio audience. Join us with your group or organization by calling 925-8295.
All right, Steve Arena, thank you very much. Now, as you saw on the billboard right there, studio audience is very much welcome to be here when we play Baton Rouge. And incidentally, we've got some response as far as people calling, hey, do you charge a fee? Absolutely no. We do not charge a fee to come into the studios of TV2 for the taping of WePlay Baton Rouge. So the number at the bottom of your screen, 925-8295, is the number to call to be with us here on Saturday. It's back to you, Smiley Anders on newspaper night. Now, Smiley, and when we laughed, John really messed up the spelling of porpoise by
really
spelling it P-O-L-D-G-I-F-E-T. Now, you opted to go back to the game board.
Yeah. Throughout the show, Mitch.
He's so sensitive about it, you know.
We're going to go back there for you, Smiley. Let's run them categories for you. All right, Smiley, what do you think looks good here? Huh? You're heading to Acadia, and here we find places, comics, words.
Comics.
Comics it is. Smiley, listen very closely. Natasha Fatale, Boris Badenoff, and Mr. Big were arch enemies of Rocky and who?
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Bullwinkle's right, you got it. Hey, Rocky! Hey, Rocky! Bullwinkle J. Moose is correct. Tied at 3-3. Back to you, John. Back to the game board. Run the categories, John. Let's see what happens here. Hey, John, places is there. Comics, words pops up.
I'll go with words if you won't make me spell anything.
All right, let me see. I never know what comes out of the slot. Let's find out what happens here. We will pull the word.
Hope it's not porpoise again.
No, it's an easier one. It goes. You never know what's going to come out of the slot, folks. It grows below the nose and above the lip. It's a mustache. John, for your next street Dalrymple, spell mustache. Oh. John, what do you want me to do? That's what happens when we play Baton Rouge. Yes, indeed.
M-O-U-S.
Now, not Mickey Mouse, mustache.
S-T-A-C-H-E.
You got it right, John. You're on now. Mustache, M-O-U-S-T-A-C-H-E. Back to you, Smiley. Acadians the street. You're looking at Park. Turn your attention to that game board. Okay. Run those categories, Smiley. On our newspaper night, Smiley Anders is looking now at places, comics, words.
Let's do comics again.
Comics was good for you the first time. Let's see what happens this time, Smiley. King of Thule. He is the... Oh, wait, let me try this again. King of Thule is the name of this prince's father in the well-known comic strip. Can you name the comic strip? Now, that king is spelled T-H-U-L-E, and I think I'm pronouncing it right, Thule.
Wizard of Ed?
Incorrect answer. John, according to rules.
John doesn't... No, the correct answer.
You're getting it anyway, John. After the show. No. Yes, you've opted not to take the question. It's Prince Valiant. King of Thule is the name of the prince's father in that well-known comic strip, Prince Valiant. Hey, I read Prince Valiant every Sunday in the State Times Morning Advocate. Yes, indeed. John, you've opted to go back to the game board. Dalrymple is your street.
I don't want words.
If you hit Texas and then Highland, you could be the winner today. Let's go to the game board. Spin those categories, John. Let's find out what happens here. If we have a score of 4-3, John, sports.
Passed.
Television, pass. You've opted to take things of the past or history. Listen to this. He was the Tsar of Russia, who, along with his family, was executed by the Bolsheviks in July of 1918. Who was this Tsar?
Nicky Romanoff. Nicholas.
Nicholas is right. You've got Texas Street. Nicholas II. Nicky Romanoff. Okay, we're going to go back over to you, Smiley. Hey, what do you think? Acadian is the street. You're on Park. John's got 2 streets ahead. Head to the game board, Smiley. Let's find out what happens there. You're definitely not out of this game on our newspaper night things.
Music again.
Music it is. It was good to be 4. Let's see what happens under music. C.C. Ryder and Can't Help Falling in Love were the opening and closing songs sung by this deceased rock star. For your next street, Park, Smiley, name the singer.
Sam Cooke.
Incorrect answer. John, the question, back to the game board.
Aha. Bored.
It's none other than Elvis Presley, C.C. Ryder, and Can't Help Falling in Love. Now, Smiley, you've got every one of Elvis's albums.
I know.
Yeah, what the heck. It's back to the game board for you, John. You've opted to do that.
Start with those.
Okay, head to the game board. Run the categories. Hey, once again, on our newspaper night, John McMillan just 1 delivery away from moving into the studios of TV2. John, movies, events, mixed bag. Events, incidentally, brand new category on the game board.
We'll try
events is current events, things that are past, could be. So what do you think?
Events.
Events it is. Listen to this question. John, answer the question, and $500,000 will be yours. Or it's back to the game board for Smiley. This famous Egyptian leader dies at an Arab summit conference on September 28, 1970. For the game, for Highland and TV2, can you name this famous man?
Nasser?
Did you say?
No, I didn't.
What was your answer, John?
Nasser.
That's correct, Joe! Hey, what the heck's going on here? See that, Smiley? Just so you know, it's official. Gamal Abdel Nasser. But we accept last names, John. Anyway, okay, now Smiley.
Good.
Can you spell it?
Yeah. All right. How many hands? Yeah. Now you see the spelling category was tough for you, and we have in our studio audience right here the primer, the 2nd grade primer. We're going to let you review at the end of this show. Smiley, it was an excellent game.
Awful.
You did really bad. I mean,
you did.
Smiley, the thing I want to ask you is, at the end, or when you get to the office, you know you have that answer phone, that recorder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many people are on, calling in with that crazy stuff?
20, 30 a day.
And a lot of you got to weed a lot of that stuff out there, don't you?
Oh, no, I use everything.
We noticed that, Smiley, but that's what happens when we play Baton Rouge. Now, Smiley, I want you to watch this monitor over here.
Okay.
Because I think we have a gift that is definitely made for you.
Oh,
and
good.
here, let's go now to the monitor and find out what we have for Smiley.
In your job, there's a tremendous burnout factor. Well, WePlay Baton Rouge will revitalize your concentration when you spend 3 days at the WePlay Tune-Up Center. Yes, you'll get your bands tightened, your rear end aligned, and your chassis straightened. After that, relax, because you've won a year's subscription to the Morning Advocate and State Times. You'll enjoy the columns of Smiley Anders and John McMillan, along with features, comics, sports, and headlines. Your prize package is completed when you and your guest enjoy dinner at Fairchild's. Yes, you've heard about Fairchild's. Now you'll experience it. A relaxed atmosphere in Southern dining. You'll be captivated by the comfortable atmosphere of this truly unique restaurant. Gourmet dining at its best. From appetizer to entree, you'll never forget your evening at Fairchild's, 11025 North Harrells Ferry Road. Reservations suggested.
All right, Smiley. Now listen, incidentally, anytime
You want to go to dinner?
anytime we have specialty nights here, we also send a contribution in your name to a charity. So be thinking about that, and whatever you want us to send that
Okay.
contribution to, we
Certainly.
definitely will. But
Okay.
we also will give you the WePlay Baton Rouge hat and shirt in just a second. But for
Wow.
right now, we want to go over here to John McMillan, our winner today, and we go to Steve Earle as well. Now, John, watch the monitor again, and we have something that I think you're thoroughly going to enjoy.
Well, you've reached the studios of TV2 first on WePlay Baton Rouge, and because of that, we have a unique gift for you. We've talked to your boss, and he says your writing stinks. Therefore, we're sending you to the Lester Smiles Johnson School of Writing and Research. That's right, it's back to class as you learn to write like the best of them. Individual instruction from Lester is yours for 3 years. And that's not all. To improve your vision and keep things in proper perspective, you've also won the WePlay Baton Rouge Spectacles. Yes, you'll make a spectacle of yourself wearing these babies as we keep an eye out for you. Seriously, you've also received free dinner for you and your guest at Fairchild's Restaurant. The brief jaunt to 11025 North Harrells Ferry Road will be a memorable one because of the relaxed experience in Southern dining that